Such a great time for women's sports in our region. Alexandra Eala celebrates the rise of female tennis in Southeast Asia. Alexandra Eala began the season with several great results that continue to catapult her into the upper ranks and among the most prominent names on the WTA Tour. The Filipino reached the semifinals at the ASB Classic, then the quarterfinals in the Philippines, the Abu Dhabi Open, and more recently the quarterfinals of the WTA 1000 Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships. Her recent campaign in Dubai stood out as especially memorable, reminding fans of her Miami 2025 breakthrough almost a year ago, when she advanced to the semifinals, defeating top players Yelena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and Iga Swiatek, in one of the most remarkable runs by a teenager in recent WTA history. Well, I think that has to be the highlight of my career so far. Like you said, that's what put me on the map. Everything just clicked after that, the Filipino tennis player said in her interview with Insidin during last year's Australian Open. And yeah, I look back at that moment and I just think, wow, like it was insane. And it's crazy to believe that actually happened. The jump into the top 100 changed everything. It was, I think everything at that point after Miami was a new experience, with that ranking being in the top 100 for the very first time. But my eyes were just wide open. I was just so eager to compete and to learn and to be at this level. And in the end, being on tour and the WTA Tour is my dream. It's, to be a professional tennis player, and I'm living out my dream. So although it came with its challenges and I had some tough times last year as well, I think I look back at 2025 with so much positivity. Historic achievements and national pride. Eala's rise brought unprecedented milestones for Philippine tennis. She is the first Filipino to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal, the first to win a Grand Slam match, the first to defeat multiple top 10 players and multiple Grand Slam champions in the same tournament. I would say more pride. I think it depends how you look at it. And I try to take it in with as much gratitude as I possibly can, because I know not a lot of players are able to have this platform. And, it's a blessing to have this support behind me. Despite the milestones, pressure is ever present, especially for one of the players who attracts the most public attention. I won't say that it comes without any pressure at all. But what I do is I just try to focus on what I need to do on court, how I can work to the best of my ability, and I know that I'll perform to the best that I can. Eala has also felt the impact at home. I haven't been home a lot. Unfortunately, I have. The times I've been home though, I felt so loved. Things have changed, to say the least. Yeah, I try to avoid going out alone now. But then again, it's blessings. Just gratitude for it, she said. I try to take it in with as much gratitude as I possibly can. It's a blessing to have this support behind me. Tennis growth in Asia and regional impact. Beyond personal achievements, Eala is aware of her role in growing tennis in Southeast Asia. It's so nice to know that, I'm doing what I can for the sport because tennis has given me so much. So all that I can do to give back to tennis, I'll do to the best that I can. She highlighted regional representation, and it's just so nice to see, for example, in my region, Southeast Asia, there are, I think, for women in the main draw from Southeast Asia alone, me, Janice, Jen, Mai, Hantama, and Lonlana, Terarudi. So it's such a great time for women's sports in our region and tennis, women's tennis. So I'm so happy to be a part of that. Reflecting on the Southeast Asian Games, where she won the gold medal, she added, I definitely felt that it was stronger this year than in past years. Maybe I'm biased because I competed in it and it was pretty tough, recalled the 20-year-old player. I think we've had just these 4 players alone that are in the main draw. I think that speaks for itself in terms of the height of the level of that tournament. So yeah, I enjoyed a lot being with the team. It was so nice to reconnect with these girls and create those bonds. Smashing through barriers, Alexandra Eala and the golden age of women's sports in Southeast Asia. By the courtside of a buzzing stadium in Manila, Jakarta, or Bangkok, a crowd rises as the ball is struck. It's more than a point one, it's history being made. And at the heart of this moment stands a young champion whose smile carries the weight of a region's dreams. Today, Alexandra Eala doesn't just represent her nation, she embodies a new era. A generation of women athletes across Southeast Asia is experiencing a breakthrough, a surge in recognition and celebration that was once only a dream. The rise of a regional star. In recent years, the narrative around women's sports in Southeast Asia has shifted dramatically. From the streets of Manila to the beaches of Bali and the high-rise cities of Kuala Lumpur, girls are picking up rackets, lacing cleats, and stepping into arenas once dominated by others. And among them, Alexandra Eala's journey stands out, not just for her technical skill, but for what she symbolizes: possibility. Eala's rise through the junior and professional levels of tennis has been both swift and steady. Her successes on international courts have brought fresh attention to the sport in communities that, for decades, nurtured talent in obscurity. With each forehand winner, she has carried the aspirations of young athletes across the region, proving that world stages are not far-off fantasies but actual achievable landmarks. But her significance goes beyond rankings and trophies. In a region vibrant with cultural diversity but historically challenged by gender inequality in sports investment and opportunities, Eala's visibility has helped catalyze a broader movement. She is both a pioneer and a participant in the largest growth spurt women's sports have ever seen here. Cultural shift in motion. To understand the depth of this moment, consider how far women's athletics in Southeast Asia has come. For decades, sports infrastructure in many countries prioritized men's teams, and girls often grew up without clear role models in competitive arenas. Younger generations accepted this imbalance as ordinary. That lens has changed. Across the region, national sports organizations, community groups, and passionate families have rallied to support girls in athletics. Young women now vie for scholarships, professional coaching, and international exposure, and fans are finally showing up to cheer them on. Stadium attendance, media coverage, and social support for women's sports are climbing, not just incrementally but emphatically. The momentum parallels the rise of athletes like Eala, as well as incredible figures in badminton, football, weightlifting, and martial arts, all strongholds of Southeast Asian talent. The result is a sports culture that increasingly celebrates female excellence as part of national pride and collective identity. Why it matters, beyond the scoreboard. The surge in women's sports isn't merely about entertainment or tournament results, it's about empowerment. In cities and villages alike, young girls now see athletes who resemble them, in background, in ethnicity, and in spirit. They see that discipline, training, and grit can lead to global recognition. They see that sports can be a pathway to education, travel, and leadership.